This week on LL Bean's Guide to the Outdoors.
And I'm ready to pull the trigger. He's becoming alert. He's going.
Our hunt may start right here today.
LL Bean started with one simple idea: build a comfortable boot that would keep his feet warm and dry. Well, necessity became the mother of invention, and the Maine hunting shoe was created. What followed was a legacy that would span a century. And little did he know that the boot he made for himself would still be made the same way 100 years later. LL Bean has grown to become the worldwide resource for all who love the outdoors. So join great-grandson of LL Bean, Bill Gorman, and discover your adventure with LL Bean's Guide to the Outdoors. This week on LL Bean's Guide to the Outdoors, Bill is on the hunt for pronghorn antelope down in New Mexico with his buddy Hunter Ross of Desert Safaris. Bill is on a mission to beat his personal record for pronghorn and get a Boone and Crockett buck. With only 2 days to get it done and a lot of land to cover, he is trusting the guides to help him get his world-class buck.
I tell you, of all the places I've been for hunting antelope, New Mexico seems to be the mecca. For me, the largest antelope I've taken to date has been in New Mexico. That was 81 7/8 inches. Now I want to break Boone and Crockett. I've talked to Hunter, and he's claiming that he can get me on a record book buck. So we're trying to break 82 inches. We'll see what happens. But we're in the place it's going to be, New Mexico.
We facilitate our pronghorn antelope hunts on 2 different large private ranches in northeastern New Mexico, located in Colfax and Mora counties. These areas produce some of the largest animals that entered into Boone and Crockett every year in the state of New Mexico, as well as just in the lower 48.
Bill settles in at camp and has just enough time to check his new Merkle Helix to make sure it is still dialed in after a long day of travel.
So this is the new Helix. I mean, I am just jazzed to be shooting this thing. I shot it once before when I did a red deer hunt last year. This year I went over to Romania and I shot it again, and I was so impressed with it. I couldn't stop talking about it. When I get home, I find one in the office. Had it shipped up through our FFL, and it's what I get to play with for the next 2 years. We'll see what happens.
Bill fires off a few shots and realizes something must have been bumped during travel, so he looks to make some adjustments.
I'll say 2.5, 3 inches, so that's 12 clicks. Bullet's got to come up. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm moving it. It's just under an inch. Yep. Looks a little over half, but that's a tight group. Oh, and 2 are touching the red, so.
Oh, that looks great.
Thanks, sir.
Very good.
Now that the gun is back to where it needs to be, the guys head in to rest up for the next day's hunt.
What's the game plan this morning?
James and I are going to take you down to the south end of the ranch, and we've done some pre-scouting down there a couple of days ago and saw probably 40, 45 bucks down there, and there's probably 5 bucks that are going to go over 80 inches.
I like to be within like 20 yards, and then they don't see you because their eyes don't focus that quick.
We can find one sleeping or something.
After finishing up breakfast, the guys head out to start their search. it doesn't take long before they're already pulling out their Swarovskis.
"583 yards. Oh my word.
He holds it all the way out.
He's just fat and heavy.
It's a great antelope. Saw this guy the first time?
He's becoming alert. He's going.
Oh, no, that was a great buck. But there are a lot of bucks on the southern end of this ranch, and
He reminds me of the one on the wall in the lodge,
He
because
does.
he comes up and he's just, it looks like you could put your hands around him.
no, yeah,
Just barely.
or barely, if you could. But we'll hop in the truck and glass around a little bit more.
Let's do it.
LL Bean Guide to the Outdoors is brought to you by LL Bean, trusted, innovative, authentic guide to the outdoors. Advanced insulation technology for hunting gear. Primaloft, proven warm, even when wet. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Lead Lenser, see everything, do anything. And Swarovski Optic.
Field testing is what we do.
Wet boots, wet pants, I'm dry, loving it.
That is like the biggest buffalo of my life.
If it doesn't perform out here, it doesn't go in here.
Waterfowling has a pattern all its own. Anticipation, bonding, the passing on of lifelong skills, the shared celebration of a successful day, and a new kind of camouflage that fits your way of hunting like an old friend. New Shadowgrass blades from Mossy Oak, camouflage that fits your pattern.
Here at Swarovski Optic, we are very proud of our EL with SwaroVision binocular. Our innovation has literally changed the landscape of the optics market. In 2015, come share in our SwaroVision savings with some very special pricing on all current EL models. For more information on this exciting promotion, please contact one of our authorized Swarovski Optic dealers.
Hunting is not your usual sport. There are no refs, no whistles. There are no out of bounds in your field. There are no timeouts. And weather won't cancel your game day. Primaloft Insulation provides a lightweight, highly packable solution for every sportsman. Primaloft Insulation for your game day.
This segment is brought to you by LL Bean, trusted, innovative, authentic guide to the outdoors. Bill has just started his first morning's hunt for pronghorn antelope in New Mexico. They've already spotted a few good bucks after only being in the field for about an hour.
He probably scores about 80, so okay. I think we'll move on.
Yes, sir.
But with 75,000 acres, the plan is to split up in order to cover as much ground as possible.
So we're just gonna go ahead and sit down up here and get our glasses up.
See what we see.
Yes, sir, we've seen a lot of antelope down here in this meadow. A lot of elk too, but there's been some great bucks in and out of here. And this is a really good vantage point to glass. Gotta see what we see. I'm not seeing too much. Everything looks like it's kind of bedded down right now. This is a good area to catch those antelope, but nothing down here right now.
I know it's long and tedious. You sit in the car and you drive because the name of the game is cover land, and it's important that you cover and glass everything. But we got 75,000 acres. Everything you see here isn't even 10,000 acres. So we got to cover a lot of ground, and hopefully we will see that 80+ inch antelope.
After hopping back in the truck, the guys cover some ground, not seeing anything worth stopping for. So they head over to a point where James had been seeing some shooter bucks to do some glassing.
Let's head up here and glass this pasture.
All right, sounds cool.
They worked their way to the top and immediately spot a lone buck off in the distance.
957 meters. It's even hard to read the wind down there.
That's a beautiful antelope. I don't even think this guy would be worth making a stalk on. It's one of the antelope that we've seen up towards the front. He's a little younger buck. Give him a few years, come back and go after him, but it was good coming down here and checking the water.
Yeah, it was.
The guys make their way back to the truck and decide it's time to head in for lunch. But first, they stop off to meet with the landowner, Hughes Abel.
I got to meet Mr. Hughes Abel. He's the owner of the property we're on here. And for me, it was just a pleasure to speak to someone who was all about doing the right thing.
And after a quick meeting, he was nice enough to give Bill a tour of his ranch.
This had the post office, and then living quarters in the back, and then a blacksmith shop, and a couple of other buildings. And so we restored it. Very expensive work, but I just couldn't stand to see it start to fall down. It was just was crumbling. This was the old post office. Now, wow. This, we just mainly stabilized it so it would stay together. I have a guy in Taos that builds this furniture, no nails and no fancy tools. Really? He does everything. And the blacksmith built like these, I was talking about, built those tools and things like that.
We'll go right into the blacksmith shop next door.
He totally restored the bellows here. All the old leather was rotted out. So he came in here and made some of these little things. So he put this, totally rebuilt this.
That's cool.
Then, more modern equipment here. And he came in here and built a few things just for the experience, I guess you might say.
This is impressive. You can tell he really loves what he's doing. I mean, they're taking less than 25% of the allotment for antelope around here. So that's only $8 to $10 on 75,000 acres. The amount of animals they have here would allow them to take $40 each year. It's more important to him to have the habitat, to have the animals, and to get nature in a really good balance. And I gotta tell you, I'm pretty impressed. He's doing a fantastic job.
Did you know, in 1928, Ernest Hemingway recommended to a friend that he should purchase rubber-bottom boots and a game bag from LL Bean for an upcoming hunting trip? To learn more about your guide to the outdoors, visit our lander page at llbean.com/GTO or check out Guide to the Outdoors on Facebook. The guys just met with the landowner, Hughes Abel, and after seeing his dedication to doing the right thing on his ranch and with proper land management, the guys grab a bite to eat and head back out to finish up the first day. Once back in the field, they spot multiple high 70 to low 80-inch bucks, just nothing to beat Bill's personal record.
We're seeing big bucks. I mean, 78 inch was one thing, but we're seeing 80s, 81s, and I'm ready to pull the trigger.
And with the light quickly fading behind the rolling hills, they decide to call it a day and head back to camp.
I would have shot probably 3 different bucks today, maybe 4. And you're saying hold off, so.
Well, like I told you earlier, you can't kill a Boone and Crockett by shooting a small buck.
This is true. Tonight wasn't that bad. It cooled down enough, and that Swarovski really dials me in anyhow, so.
Takes the guesswork out of it. I think we'll be able to get on one of those big bucks in the morning. So
Excellent.
we'll just keep after it, and hopefully we can unearth one of them.
I'll have one meet the earth.
The next morning, the guys get ready and head out at first light. And after a short drive into the hunting area, they're already spotting pronghorn.
He's massive all the way up to his prongs, but then he kind of thins out towards the top of his horns. He's got a lot of character to him, a lot of burrs and trash around his prong itself, and like I said, he's heavy around there, but just kind of funnels out towards the top. Not really what we're looking for, but a beautiful buck. He'll probably go high 70s, but we've got some bigger ones. It's a beautiful buck.
But he's a baby, and he's gonna have to grow.
We've seen bucks out here on our previous year that were mid-70s and shot them the next year, and because they'll have a distinguishable characteristics, we know it's the same animal.
Right.
And he'll be, 83, 84, 85 inches the next year.
Wow.
While starting to pack up, Bill spots a herd that has moved in behind them, so they turn around and get set up.
Boy, that's one dominant buck. He's got all his girls with him. Boy. He's just not a monster buck, but look at all the does he has with him. What do you think, James? There they go.
I think we got a well enough look that he wasn't what we're quite looking for.
Yeah.
But he did have a good little harem with him.
The guys pack up and get back in the truck to start covering some more ground. But then they got a call from Andrew. He's on the other side of the property and has just spotted a monster.
Now this buck here, he's a much more mature buck. He's got a bunch of texturing on his horns. He's gonna score mid-80s. So this is the caliber of buck we're looking at. We have quite a few bucks like this on the ranch. So our hunt may start right here today.
Did you know that on November 29th, 1996, LLbean.com opened for commerce on the web and has been growing ever since? For more information on desert safaris, give them a call or check them on the web. LL Bean Guide to the Outdoors is brought to you by LL Bean, trusted, innovative, authentic guide to the outdoors. Advanced insulation technology for hunting gear. Primaloft, proven warm, even when wet. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Lead Lenser, see everything, do anything. And Swarovski Optic. Bill is hunting in Mora County, New Mexico for pronghorn antelope, and they just spotted a monster that they want to make a stalk on.
Finally, I get the opportunity. When I put the binoculars on this buck, I mean, I knew right off he was big, and I mean, I was just ready to rock and roll. I'm trying to stalk up, get a little bit closer. About 330 yards now. I'd like to get up to about 250 if possible.
All right, Bill, you on him? He's coming a little closer.
Oh, yeah. 200 on the nose.
Hit him. Way to go. He's fighting it, but he's down.
Oh, nice.
How many yards did you have him?
I had him at 200 yards. It just was, everything was perfect.
Yeah, you had a good rest off the sticks. Yeah.
But he went probably another 80 yards.
Yeah, he was, you definitely got him great in the lungs. He ran a little bit, but he's just down right over that hill. He's an incredible buck. It was an incredible shot. Way to go.
Let's go check this guy out.
Congratulations.
I tell you, first hunt with the Merkel, and it really earned its keep. I mean, 200-yard shot. I mean, it hit hard.
I was amazed when we walked up to the antelope that Bill had shot. Absolutely huge. He held his mass all the way out like we expected. The shape of this buck was incredible. The characteristics, all the little burrs and whatnot around his horns itself were very unique.
You know, this is a fantastic antelope. He is very massive. We get our 4 measurements on mass, and above his prongs, he is 5 inches, which is fantastic for this species. He's going to score in the mid-80s to high 80s, and until we get our tape on him, we're pretty sure he's about 85.
Yeah.
A very good representative of this ranch. We do kill antelope of this size quite consistently.
I tell you, what's funny is when people say that, they're usually talking about, you know, it's not a monster elk, it's not a monster, that's not it's good representation. It's amazing when this is a monster and it's a good representation.
It's good management. We have a lot of antelope, but we just take a few and we make sure and pick the right ones. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Antelope, Bill. Way to go. It's awesome.
Guys, appreciate it.
Again, that's an awesome antelope.
Once they got Bill's buck back to camp, they were able to get a tape on it. And sure enough, it was right where they thought it would be.
All-time B&C minimum, 82 inches. Your antelope is 85 and 1/8.
Whoa!
So that's world class.
Oh, big time.
Awesome.
That is huge, thank you. I'm feeling pretty stoked. I mean, to get a Boone and Crockett antelope, you know, I've been hunting 3 times now with Thomas, and every time we've pulled big animals. So I gotta say thank you.
As you've seen on the ranch through the last couple of days on the hunt, we have just absolute a plethora of up-and-coming bucks. I mean, that are mid to high 70s antelope, and all those antelope next year should be cracking that 80-inch plus mark.
Thank you again so much.
As always, we enjoy having you come down.
Oh, trust me, I enjoy being here. This guy's a monster, and I am super proud to have it. But to say it's all about a number, that's never gonna happen with me. Sure, I like the number, but I'm more happy that we had such a great hunt. We saw plenty of animals, and conservation in its truest form. Can't ask for anything more than that. I brought my BB gun. I actually brought a straw with spitballs for this hunt. Got him.
It's 2 for 1. You gotta come down and get them.